Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Post-Match Pint. Yeah, West Ham United Post-Match Full Show on the internet. I came back from Villa Park yesterday where, unfortunately, boys, it wasn't a very good performance and we ended up losing 2-0. But before we get on, we've got a full crew today, are we, boys?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good to all be together again.
Yeah, it is very good.
Monday night, the Fab was back.
Nicky, you look like a truck driver today. Look like you've just come from Oregon or something with some logs on the back of your lorry. What's going on?
I look like I'm going to go into a diner and start singing country music.
He looks like he's just told Roseanne he's going for a beer down the pub.
Oh, fucking hell. I wish I'd have done that yesterday instead of going up to Villa Park, that's for sure.
Mate, I was fuming after that performance. That was, apart from Mavropanos, the only one who can hold his head up high. It was pathetic from the team yesterday. Honestly, regardless, we'll talk about tactics, all of that stuff. Just the output, the effort levels, the quality was nowhere near acceptable for a team that should be fighting for their lives. Nowhere near what we saw against Man City, mate. So I was fuming.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I agree. And Mavropanos yesterday, I mean, some of the tackles, like I called him the Greek Maldini yesterday, like two cleared off the line. You know, if it wasn't for him, that could have been 4 or 5-0. But you're right, it wasn't a great performance. I know, look, the starting lineup, you know, Potts coming in, Tadibo getting injured. I know they would have worked all week on it, the one system, and then they had to change it. But they should be able to adapt. Like, that's the poorest I've seen us play for a long time. And the only positive I can take out yesterday is that Spurs lost. Yeah. Spurs got battered. And the next Premier League game we play Wolves on a Friday night, which if we win that, we put Spurs in the bottom 3 and they don't play till the Sunday. So the pressure's on them. But yeah, look, losing to Villa at Villa Park, they're going for the Champions League. I know it sounds mad, but I know the performance weren't great, but it's not the worst thing in the world. We're only a point behind. So that's the only positive.
Just say this, Ryan, because I let Scott come in, because me and Scott was talking about this, is he didn't have to change it. Because whatever we think about Kilman could slot in. Scott pointed out a good point.
I agree.
He could have put Wan-Bissaka in that back 3 and played Carl Walker-Peters. So, yeah, if it was so important and we trained for a back 5, he should have stuck with the back 5.
I totally agree, man. I said that yesterday. Like, Kilman, despite what we think of him at the moment, he hasn't been great form. I'm sure he could have just slotted into that system. So I don't know why he decided to do that. So, yeah. It's fucking bad.
Do you know what the thing is? I don't know whether anyone noticed it, but I noticed this there. He didn't change the system. He lost a centre back. He's got a centre back available there, and he didn't change the system. He put Wan-Bissaka at right wing back, at right centre back, and he put Bowen at right wing back. And that's how we started. You could see it from the starting lineup. And
I'll be honest, mate, it wasn't that he went to a back 4. You see it on the telly. The shape that we had, Potts.
I could see it, mate.
No, so could I, mate. I was watching it on the telly, and you could see a lot more on the TV than you can see from the stands. And he switched it to a back 4 because if you look when we went forward, Potts was dropping in as a third centre half. The biggest mistake he made was making that decision. What he should have done was either bring Kilman in or start Carl Walker-Peters. That would have been the more better option. He put Pablo out on the left of midfield, which was completely pointless because he was absolutely useless. Left Tati running around up front on his own. The annoying thing for me is I ain't been on for a little while, and I don't want to sit here and slate Nuno, but he got it wrong again yesterday.
Thing is, as well, like said it yesterday, if he did want to change the system, like no disrespect to Potts, he hasn't played since he got sent off in the FA Cup, so maybe start Magassa. You know, because he's played a lot more football than what Potts has over the last few weeks. Or Kante, you know, he was another option that could have started.
But the thing is, right, I think yesterday shows the lack of intelligence in modern day footballers. At the end of the day, you've spent a whole however long in the season playing with a back 4, and then you coach to play a back 5 for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is, and you can't readapt to what you done when you was at a back 4. It makes no sense whatsoever. You know, and this is just it just proves that footballers are not as intelligent as they used to be because they should be able to switch systems just at a drop of an hat if they need to. You know, there's no excuses. You can't. The level of performances from them players yesterday can't be excused just because Todibo dropped out with an injury right at the start of the game. I'm not going to put it all on Nuno. Them players, like you said, apart from Mavropanos, them players have to take.
Yeah, because why didn't it affect Mavropanos? Why was Mavropanos playing his arse off? Why was he putting in 100% effort and putting in the tackles? So if it didn't affect him, but it affected everyone else.
Exactly.
Yeah, like Scott said, I don't buy that excuse, mate. The players just did not step up. And it was really disappointing. And question marks over Hermansen as well. Listen, I'm an Areola fan. I think Hermansen's done decent since he's come in, but it's moments like this where you realise when you're down there, you need that shot stopper. You need someone like
and the
Areola.
thing is, with Hermansen, he did pull off a couple of good saves yesterday, but then that one mistake, to palm it into Watkins' feet. I mean, look, Watkins hasn't scored in his last 6 games, but he's a good striker and he does what good strikers do. They get in the box and gamble on them opportunities. And Hermansen, I don't know what he's tried to do. He's like in two minds whether to catch it or push it away, and he's literally just palmed it into Watkins' feet. And look, you can't take nothing away from their first goal. It was a brilliant work free kick. They've obviously worked on that in training, and it's a great finish from McGinn.
He had acres of time and space, though, right? To be fair.
When you watch it back, the centre backs don't get out to him quick enough. They ain't following the ball. They're watching the runs, and they're not keeping their eye on the ball. And you see that, it's a great finish. Nothing Hermansen can do about that. I think if you'd have had Areola in goal with him, they both would have stopped it. But we just couldn't get control of the game. We was losing the battle in midfield. We was letting them run it. Morgan Rogers was having so much space. When you go to Villa Park, you've got to soak up the pressure and get their fans frustrated. And we just didn't do that. And you could tell from the off that something was off in that team yesterday. They just didn't seem up for it. I mean, Bowen. I mean, we spoke about most of it, but he'd give the ball away for the second goal and then just jog back. And then he was blaming Wan-Bissaka, where Wan-Bissaka was out wide. He should have played the ball to him.
That was a shocking performance from Bowen as the captain. I was really, because he did that a lot. He gave the ball away a lot. Like Nicky said, he was playing he looked like he was playing right back a lot of time because he was just so deep and he weren't getting up. And
if he weren't playing right back, I'm very fucking shocked because it looked like he was playing fucking right back to me.
Yeah, he was just so. It looked like that. It did look like that.
Yeah, I think we were just playing so deep. We was like trying to invite them on, like we did against Man City.
Mm-hmm.
And let's face it, we was lucky against Man City, but. Yesterday, I think they had like 29 shots or 8 on target. We had 1 on target. It's not good enough when you're fighting at the bottom. Yesterday I had one eye on the Spurs game as well, and I watched Forest's performance, and I was thinking, fucking hell, they're actually going for it. They're fighting for their lives. I'm not saying we haven't been well for the last 6 or 7 weeks because we've done brilliant to get back into this position, but you can't go to Villa Park and just think because it's Aston Villa, let's sit back. We could have gone there yesterday and got a result. Even a point would have been brilliant. But
Leeds went there and got a point.
Yeah, Leeds they haven't won in their last. I think they've been on a bad run of form, but they've only beat us once in the last 7 at Villa Park. So we could have gone there yesterday. And the way we've been playing, we could have easily got something. But yeah,
and the thing is, we had the week rest. We had the rest. They played on Thursday in the Europa League.
Sometimes I don't think that's as good because the thing is about Villa, and this is gonna fucking shock you. There was a time not too long ago where we fucking loaned them Robert Snodgrass in the Championship. Look at the quality that they've got in their fucking side. Look what they've got coming off the bench, and that is the difference. That is the difference, and that is the problem with us. And I'm going to say this right now: our starting 11 can get us out this relegation battle. Our squad players can't, and that is fact.
Yeah, we can't rely on Somerville because Somerville's injured now. Hopefully, he'll be back for the Wolves game. We definitely need him, but we need to have a plan B when someone like Somerville's not in the team. When Paqueta weren't in the team, we found that plan B. We freed up Somerville and we changed our fortune. Just because Somerville's out now, as Scott said, players need to step up. These players are fighting for their Premier League lives. I'll say that. Most of them will probably end up back in the Premier League next season if we get relegated. But they're fighting for their West Ham, to keep us up. But when you look at
this is
Villa
why,
yesterday,
right? You can't play so deep with that Somerville
No,
because
I agree.
Somerville is that outlet on the counter attack. So, like
I
you said,
would-
we got to find some ways. So maybe push up.
The
I
thing
would
is,
rather.
Go
Sorry,
on.
Scott, just quickly. I would
Go on.
rather have started Callum Wilson up top yesterday and play Tatty on the left, where Somerville plays, because he's got the pace. You know, just try something different. Pablo offered nothing yesterday. Look, I know he's not the worst player I've seen, and I'm not going to sit here and slate him, but for me, he doesn't really offer anything.
No,
I think he does offer something, but it's a certain system. And what Nuno's doing at the moment, is that he stopped doing what was working all of a sudden. Like he stopped. Like, I know he got injured and he had to find different ways, and obviously Somerville's come in, but Somerville's out now. You have to find something different to do. Pablo works in the two up top because they work tirelessly.
I totally, yeah. No, I was going to say, I totally understand the way we played against City. We set up because, but going to Villa Park, we shouldn't have gone with a 5 at the back. You got to go for it.
There was a couple of big performers that were out there yesterday that didn't fucking step up. Fernandes didn't step up. And that's harsh on Fernandes because Fernandes has been fucking fantastic all season.
It was his worst game, but he set
worst
standards
game.
high.
Like that is the sort of midfield that you've got to be competing against if you want to be the best. Like McGinn is a quality player. Morgan Rogers is a quality player. When Tillemans comes in, he's a quality player. And they've got a quality midfield. Our midfield were dead yesterday. We didn't know what to do. Wan-Bissaka was fucking running all over the fucking shop. He didn't know what to do. Bowen was slotting in at right back. But it looked like that's got to be on Nuno because it looked like he said, go and defend it. Go and defend it. Listen, I know we've had better defensive performances, but this is always the risk with Nuno, is that he sees them better defensive performances and all of a sudden he goes, right, well, let's stop doing what was doing well because now we can defend. And we can't do that. We can't do it.
Let me just read this. Let me just read this super chat out, lads. So, from Coral. Thank you very much, Coral. Always appreciate you, mate. $4.99 super chat. Bar Mavro, attitude and intent not good enough. Tatty and Pablo can run as much as they want. They were bought to score. They can't. Front line and goalkeeper need a change for me. And the thing is, I'll just say this quickly. We can talk about their quality overshining our quality. When there's the effort levels aren't there, you're not giving yourself a chance. Man City's quality dwarfs our quality and their quality, but we fucking worked our ass off and we got a result for it. Most teams in this league at the moment have more quality than us, but if we need to raise our effort levels to try and overcome that quality, what is it? Hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard.
I think this is the thing about Villa. Villa got very much they got to kick up the arse yesterday because they've had results go their way. They needed to. They're getting their players back now. You know, McGinn's a massive player for them, massive, huge. And he was class. He's quality. He's a quality player, and they're getting him back now. They're just getting Tillemans back. Tillemans coming back in, but just before they scored the second goal. But that's the issue. They've got quality. They've got quality all around, and we've got quality.
Son of Man City though, and we got a point.
Yeah, but this is the problem. I think we're looking at them like they're Man fucking City. They're not Man City. They're good, but they're not Man City.
And that's the thing. I think when what you were saying before, Nick, before Dan read the super chat with the defensive attitude, you know, it worked against City because everyone seemed up for it, and the fact that we had outlets. You know, switching the system and putting Pablo where they put him yesterday, it took away the outlet. There was no outlet. You know, we didn't have Somerville against City. You know, so we didn't have his outlet that we normally have. So we played a completely different way. When you look back at Villa when they were playing other games, they play such a high line, right? So if you're going to defend deep, you need your pace to be up there. You know Tatty's going to run around. You know, going back to the super chat about Tatty was brought in to score goals. Tatty was never brought in to score goals. The guy had only scored 3 goals for Lazio all season. He's not a goal scorer. He's that type of forward that's there to hurry defenders, to cause problems, to link up the play.
He's meant to be bringing the likes of Bowen and Somerville with the play. That's what he's been bought.
Exactly. That's what he's been bought for. And he offers a lot more than what Fulkrug offers. You know, with the fact that he harries down defenders, chases around and works his arse off. And that's what he was brought in for. Pablo was brought in for the goal scorer. But as I said, when we signed him, you can bang goals in all day long in the Portuguese league. Come to the Premier League, it's a different kettle of fish.
I mean, he had a couple of chances yesterday, didn't he? And he should have done a lot better, Pablo. You know, He's played, like, I know he's only just come back from injury, but even before that, like, he's not really a threat, is he? I don't look at him as a threat. I see Tatty as more of a threat. But yeah, you're right. You play him at the wrong system, it don't work.
No,
It don't
exactly.
work.
And that's it. And that's what Nicky was saying. You know, with Pablo, when he's played in that front two, it's worked because his work rate, again, linking up play. You know, he is more of a threat as a second striker. The mad thing is that you know my feelings on him. Chiore should have come in yesterday.
Yeah,
Chiore should have started.
100%.
He did all right when he come on.
It was his best game, but he was still shot. I mean, that cross he put in near the end that fucking went.
I think it's just his presence.
Yeah,
you can look at him, right, and he's one of them. Listen, you got 9 times out of 10 when Traore gets the fucking ball, he's going to turn around, he's going to run, it's going to come off his shin, he's going to fucking bounce all over the fucking shop, and 100% he's going to fucking lose the ball, or he's going to try and have a shot in it and hit the corner flag. 9 times out of 10, but there's one time, right, that he'll get the ball and he'll turn and he'll fucking do this, he'll do that. You know, he's got the qualities in him. But that means that a fullback would always. You see Matty Cash yesterday and Digne. They knew that there was no threat there. They was cheating, what we used to call cheating, Scott. You know what I mean? They were taking up the positions, and they knew, right, if he gets the ball over to fucking Pablo here, I'm going to have to fucking, I'm going to have what it takes to get back here. But you can't say that about Traore because he's fucking quick. You know what I mean? Like, and if you fucking leave Traore to go, he's gone. You're not catching him. You know what I mean? Like, we have to look at different ways of doing things. Pablo playing out wide was a waste of fucking time. It was a waste of time. And that's no, people slag Pablo off. I don't slag Pablo off because what Pablo does offer, he offers what he needs to offer in certain positions. It certainly isn't out wide. Yeah. Traore done well against Brentford. Bring him in. Like, what are you fucking waiting for? Like, at the end of the day, and I'm going to say this as well, right? I sat here on Friday night Pint. I said, listen, it doesn't really. Not that it doesn't matter. Obviously, it's massive to go to Villa Park and get 3 points there. It would have been fucking unbelievable to go there. But it was always going to be a tough game. And the option we had there is that we could have gone for it. We could have gone for it in any way or shape or form because one of them other two were losing. That is it, right? So no matter what happens, right? But you got to roll the fucking dice to go in Monopoly. You don't fucking roll the dice. You're standing still.
So we've got to go for games now because goal difference don't matter to us. It don't matter if, what we concede. We're so far behind.
6-0. Don't matter.
That's exactly it. We could afford to go to that yesterday, and we could have afforded to just roll the dice because one of them two were losing, and at the worst case scenario, they both draw. So that's what I'm saying. Like we got to go for it. We've got 7 games left now, and when you look at the games we've got left, I mean, take away probably Arsenal at home, they're games that we can pick up points, And look, Wolves at home is not going to be a given. I know that because they're in a good run of form at the moment. And it always happens when teams that are, I know they're not mathematically relegated, but it'll be a miracle they survive. But yeah, I mean, as I said, if we beat Wolves, I know we've got Leeds first in the quarterfinal of the Cup, and then we play Wolves. If we beat Wolves on that Friday night, it puts the pressure on the other teams like above us. We close the gap on Leeds, close the gap on Forest, and we put Spurs in the bottom 3. So there's still a lot of football to play. It was disappointing yesterday with the performance, but you just got to move on and hope that them boys have a nice break now. We come back fresh from international duty. No one picks up any injuries. Then we go again. And we get that final run in of the season. We've got a big game against Leeds in the quarterfinal of the Cup. A chance to get into a semi-final at Wembley, which will be a huge boost for everyone. And then, we just got look. I'm looking at the list now. We've got Wolves at home, Palace away, Everton at home, Brentford away, Arsenal at home, Newcastle away, Leeds at home. Ideally, we don't want it to come down to that Leeds game on the final game of the season. But if that's where it is, that's it. It is where it is. We've put ourselves in that position. Ideally, I want to be 4 points clear. Last game of the season, win, lose or draw. Who gives a fuck? Let's end the season with. Do you know what? And I'm going to say this now, right? And I'm getting way too far ahead of myself, like I always fucking do, right? Win the next 2, because I don't think Tottenham do. Win the next 2.
I think we need 3. I think we need 3 wins.
I
think we need 3 wins. Sorry,
yeah, I agree. But I win the next 2 because I don't think Tottenham do. Tottenham go 6 points behind in this relegation fight. They're done for. They are not getting out of it.
But this is the thing, mate. Like I said, this is our chance now to get out of this relegation.
If you say kicking the can down the road one more time, Dan, I'm going to fucking punch you right in the forehead.
Well, it's not like I've said it. I only said it like once or
Say
twice. But I'm telling you what, Nick. I'll punch you in the forehead if you sit here and say, "Oh, it's not the end of the world if we lose to Wolves." I tell you what, it fucking is because we would.
No, it definitely. I wouldn't say that against Wolves.
We have to win that game. I'll just say it's because psychologically, how many chances have we had now to get out of this bottom three to start to look like we could, move on and kick on and overtake one of these teams like a Forest. Every time, like they drop points, we drop points. You know what I mean? When we win, they win.
I'm going to tell
Friday,
you,
win, put him in the bottom, and then like Ryan said, psychological blow.
Tottenham's next 2 games are Sunderland away and Brighton at home.
Yeah, and then they've got Wolves away after that, then Villa away. So they've got 2 tough away games. Then they've got Leeds at home, Chelsea away, and then Everton at home. I mean, fucking David Moyes could be a West Ham hero at the end of the season.
2 games now. Get them 2 games. They ain't getting 6 points out of them 5 games. There's no chance.
Yeah. Like I said, once they drop in that bottom 3, mate, once they drop there, that's it for them. And you look at them fans, right? They went and they did the whole flares and cheering the coach and all that stuff. And the team went and lost 3-0 at home to a relegation rival. Like, they are down in the dumps massively. And it's only West Ham that's going to keep them up. If we win next game, it's in our hands. Right now, it's still not in our hands. We can put it in our hands with a win against Wolves and trust that they don't win, right? Because they could get a point or whatever and we're still above them. Let's put it in our hands and then we can go and keep.
That's the key thing. When you look at our next 4 league fixtures, and this is no disrespect to teams we're playing, all 4 of them are winnable games. All 4 of them. If we could get 7 points out of them 4, I think we'll stay up. I really do. Because as I said, I don't see. I'm with you, Nick. I can't see where Spurs are going to get a win from. Leeds are going to have a part to play in it because they've got to play us and they've got to play Tottenham. I think Wolves have got to play us, Leeds, and Tottenham. So Wolves are going to, could have something to say about this.
The thing is as well, Scott, we play obviously Arsenal 3rd game from the end of the season. The title could be wrapped up by then. They could be going for Champions League. They could be putting out a weakened team against us. So
could you imagine, right, if that happens, what team the Arsenal fans are going to want Arsenal to put out against us, knowing that if we were to beat them, it'd potentially put Forest down.
Well, when you look at that,
Arteta might come back.
The thing is, when you look at that fixture list, I mean, if things don't go well for Tottenham, like we're talking about, Chelsea could relegate them. Second from last game of the season. Imagine them getting relegated at the Bridge.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. And their record at the Bridge is horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous.
They've won their once in like 20 odd years, I think.
Yeah. So, like I said, everything. The only people that can stop West Ham is West Ham. Like it's us. We are agents of our own downfall. So Somerville coming back, and I'm fingers crossed. I think he should be back for Wolves. Is massive. It's so massive. I'm confident if we have him for the rest of the season. Like I'm confident we can stay up. Because he's so integral to what we do.
We also need to have a plan that just in case he's not available. So we need to work out.
We need a better plan B.
Nuno's got 2 weeks now to work on that.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is as well, right? You look at Forest fixtures; they're not out of it. They've got a tough running. Their last 4 is Chelsea away, Newcastle at home, United away, and Bournemouth at home.
Yeah. I think that win against Spurs, though, would be a big thing for them because they were struggling to score goals. Now they've found the back of the net.
Anyway, mate, Tottenham conceded 20 goals in 6 games, mate. I think if you're struggling with goals, you go to Tottenham.
No, but it is a confidence boost, isn't it? When you struggle in front of the net and you get a goal.
That's what the Atletico Madrid win was meant to be doing for them. Confidence boost.
Yeah.
They could fucking was standing there. I was
letting just think Forest has put Forest next league game's Villa. So this is the thing.
I think personally, one of 2 teams will go down. It's either us or Tottenham. That's what I think. I'll
be honest, mate.
I'm thinking Tottenham.
I'm thinking it's us, Leeds or Tottenham. And I've said it all along. It's us, Leeds, or
I,
Tottenham.
I agree with
Leeds
Scott.
are
I
still
think
picking
it'll
up
be
points, though.
I think, yeah, but Leeds are drawing a lot of games, in they, and then they're not like picking up wins. And you think, what was it, 4 or 5 weeks ago? They were 9 points clear of us. You know, so they've slided into. Look, I still think it's going to be Spurs. I think what I said it the other week. I think once they slide into that bottom 3, that'll be it for them. But the pressure will get to them.
I will say this, for all of the positivity that we've said here, we turn up like that again, we're not fucking going to get out of it.
Yeah, as Dan said, it's our own downfall. You know, we're in the bottom 3. We need to realise that, and we can't even think about goal difference. We need to get more points. We can't go down to goal difference.
Yeah.
So as long as we get more points, that's all that matters.
We're basically a point behind everybody else more now because of our goal difference. That's how you look at it. You know, and that's what you said. We've got to get wins. And the problem, what worries me is this situation we're in the next 4 league games, is very, very similar to what we went into that January fixture list with, where we were sitting there going, well, hang on, or December 1, whatever it was, where we were sitting there going, these 4 games could get us out of trouble, and we lost all 4 of them. You know, so this is a big couple of weeks. Like you said, Nuno's got a lot of work to do.
I'll tell you what, though. Imagine if we do get through against Leeds. Imagine what that atmosphere is going to be like on a Friday night at home to Wolves. You know, the importance of that. So the fans, look, the fans
we're
always
going Wembley.
They need to. So it's going to be nervous. It's going to be tense. But if we get that win, it's just going to make a huge deal. It's going to put the pressure on the teams like Forest and Spurs that weekend. And I think Spurs and I think they both play on the Sunday because you know, so there's 2 days that it's going to be in the back of their heads, like shit, like especially
that's
if Spurs.
What kills me is we could have had Spurs in the bottom 3 until April 12th, right? That's when they next play a game. That time to shit. I know it's gone now, but it's just an opportunity missed, and we can't throw away that next opportunity.
It's very tough going to Villa. Villa are a fucking good side. They're up there for a reason.
Yeah.
So
the thing is, as well, like,
but these ones.
But again, Nick, I don't think we lost because it was tough. Like we just didn't put any effort in. If we put a shift in, we worked our ass off and we lost. I can accept that. I can say, do you know what? We gave our all. We played our best, and they were just a better team. But I didn't see that. I saw 10 players.
Imagine how they're feeling like Igor Tudor, like his players have just been battered at home 3-0 to Forest, and now they all go away on the international break, most of them. He can't spend the next couple of weeks.
I've got to say this as well. He's just lost his old man. So our thoughts are with him for fucking losing his old man.
Yeah, he found out all the time.
100%. Like there's things are bigger than football. But what I'm saying is just like they're not going to have the players there for the next couple of weeks to work on what happened on yesterday at a 3-0 loss. And like, mentally they're all going away, and you know they would rather all be together to get over it because that's going to affect them. You know, that's a heavy defeat. And as you said, they had this big build up before the game where they had everyone lying in the streets like they've just won the Champions League.
Do you think that's their fans will give up now, right? Because listen, I've listened to them all, right, and they've been walking out on the fucking 45th minute in the first half and all that all season, right? They think that they turned up on Saturday and done that, and they think they've done their fucking part of the season.
Nah, but we've been in that situation before where fans have walked out when it ain't going well, and their fans will stay with them. Their next home game, there'll be a full house there. You know, they've got to stay with them. You know,
I don't think they're going to do that parade thing again. To do that.
That was just because who they were playing. It's because it was a bottom 3, like a relegation rival.
And it's nice how they've fallen so much so that they've gone from doing parades because they're playing Champions League oppositions to parades because they're fighting to stay at the bottom 3. It's fantastic, isn't it? Yeah. Absolutely fantastic.
Look, don't get me wrong, it's brilliant to see. As a West Ham fan, it's brilliant to see. You know,
I'll be honest, mate. I think as every football fan, I don't think I know a football fan out there that doesn't support Spurs, that doesn't want Spurs to go down.
But do you think this might come into the fucking last games as well? Because there's teams up there are thinking, you know, you got to think Spurs have been one of them teams over the last few years that have sort of directed things towards that top 6 because they're one of them top 6, undeservedly one of the top 6, probably the most undeserving top 6 club there's ever fucking been on the planet, right? But they've made decisions in ballroom level. Do you think the teams are going to come up against and go, right, let's fucking stick it on these fucking cunts?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because everyone like looking at their fixture list, everyone's got something to play for. There's teams going for Europe. There's teams that, like, you know, that want, maybe not in a relegation battle, but they want to move up more positions because it's more money for them. So everyone wants to win. And yeah, look, everyone would love to be that team that sends Spurs down. And when you think about it, in Premier League history, Tottenham getting relegated will probably be up there with like Leicester winning the Premier League, like as a shock, because look, whatever we think of Tottenham, you know, they are a big club. So for them to get relegated from the Premier League would be huge news. But
I think it'd be slightly less shocking and less just because they were 17th last season. And I actually predicted this 5 years ago. 3 years ago, I said, listen, you're going to be, you could be going down in 5 years, and they've done it in, I think, 4. But not that I would listen. I'm not saying that I'm not surprised. Listen, if this goes down, like Ryan said, it would be a massive story. They'd have that brand new fucking super stadium in the Championship, having Preston rock up there. Like,
but why? But Dan, so would we. So we got to be careful.
Yeah, but our stadium shit. Like, we would be fucked down there. Trust me, because anyone.
I think you're right in a way, Nick. Because if we go down there, we've had it before. Everyone turns up against us because it's a cup final.
Cup final,
you know, and that's what it would be like for Spurs. And don't think that if Spurs go down, that they're going to come straight back up, because they'll find it very, very difficult to do.
I think
the same as us. Same as us.
Yeah, the same as us. Yeah, exactly the same as us. But that's what
at
I'm
the end
saying.
of the day, we're the team still in the relegation battle. We're still in, so we've got to get out of it. You know, we can sit here and talk about
our hands at the moment.
It's out of our hands. Once it's in our hands, then it's up to us.
Yeah,
agree.
That's it. God, please.
But
as I said, hopefully that's a wake-up call for the players, and they've got this time to reflect and say, right, lads, that's not good enough. Wolves, mate. Massive.
But in hindsight, shit performance, must do better.
Yeah.
Summary.
Mavropanos. It's like, listen,
I do not know what's happened to that fucking geezer, mate, because that geezer is turned into a fucking superstar.
Can I just quickly say something? Going back to the game yesterday.
Yeah.
How the fuck did they give a penalty for that tackle, Mavropanos?
Oh, mate, that was
probably one of the best tackles I've seen all season. Yeah. And how the linesman hasn't seen that. And then for the referee, not only, why did he even have to go over to the screen? Why didn't VAR just say, mate, he's won the ball clearly?
Yeah,
he gave it. You see the ball change direction.
But this is what I've been saying about this all season. They don't want to make a decision.
Yep.
The lino would have saw that.
Yeah.
And he gave it as a penalty. He saw that and said it was a pen.
Yeah.
And can you imagine if there was no VAR and he would have given that penalty? And I know we end up losing the game anyway, but how massive that could have been for a team fighting for their life. So that is the good side of VAR for me, because that's what it's been brought in to do.
Even if we lose that, I'd be pissed either way if we lose it, just because it was a great tackle and you've given that as a pen. Even if we lost, I'd be fuming. But that's what he's you look at the ref here, he's facing it.
Yep.
The ball goes the direction of Mavropanos' foot. So any idiot can see he's obviously touched the ball. He's obviously made good contact with it to fucking knock it where it's going. And he looks at that and goes, pen.
Yeah, the thing is, mate, as a defender, them sort of tackles are as good for you as scoring a goal.
Oh,
you truly get from making that sort of challenge.
You celebrate them fucking tackles, mate. You celebrate them. He was unreal yesterday. I mean, 2 off the line, especially that second one where it was, I think it was Sancho was close range and Mavropanos has headed it over the bar, and the one off the line and the tackle when it was 0-0, the tackle at Watkins at the back post. He was brilliant yesterday, and he has been for the last few weeks. You know, he's been such an important player for us. People were writing him off at the beginning of the season, and probably rightly so, because we wasn't great. We wasn't great at the beginning of the season, but I think now that give Areola the FA Cup game and then maybe bring him back into the Premier League. I know it might be harsh on Amanson, but the 2 mistakes yesterday. Well, not 2 mistakes.
He dealt with it. He dealt with the crosses. He dealt with a
That
lot
can't be right, Polly. I know you're a wind-up merchant. Please don't.
No, he's a wind up. He's not. He's winding up. He's winding up. It's impossible. It's a joke. Quickly, just read Rich West Ham £5 super chat. Thank you, Rich. We're West Ham, never easy, but we get there. Come on, you irons. Thanks, Rich. You're right. Go on, Scott.
Yeah, Manson. He done. It's annoying because when you make a mistake as a goalkeeper, it 99 times out of 100 leads to a goal. But I thought overall he was pretty good. His distribution was good. His shot stopping was good, and he dealt with crosses. The amount of pressure that put him under for set pieces, he dealt with as best he can. He didn't get the best of protection, but Mavropanos was there to clear it off the line the times that he did get beat. Did anyone see Wan-Bissaka headbutt the crossbar at the same time Mavropanos cleared it off the line?
No.
Watch it back. He hits the crossbar as he jumps.
I think the last couple of games, Dewar, I do like him, but his crossing has been poor the last couple of games. Yeah. He's not beating the first man sometimes, and he's got so much pace, and he's got quality. We've seen the balls that he can put into the box. So, look, when we come back from the international break, we've got two big games, FA Cup and back at the London Stadium against Wolves in the Premier League, and then we'll see what effect that game had on them yesterday when we come back.
Speaking on crossing, I have to say this. I've said it many times. Please, can we get Bowen off fucking corners? I'm so sick of seeing this fucking bastard take shit corner after shit corner after shit corner and just keep letting him do it. Freddie Potts takes better corners than Bowen. And just give someone else a go. Wan-Bissaka, I don't care. I'm sick and tired of seeing him take a corner and it's shit, and he walks up there again and takes another shit one, and the next game every single time. He's one of the worst. And listen, that's no slate. Not saying he's a shit player. Pyatt was shit on corners. Don't have someone kick, because we are shit at the moment, right? In that game, we're not getting chances. You need set pieces. You need Man City, right?
Yeah,
no, I agree, mate. I totally agree. He retired yesterday, didn't he, old Pyatt? Speaking of him, 38 years old, retired. But yeah, no, I agree, mate. These corners are shocking, Why
do we let him keep taking them, though?
Why is Diouf taking them?
Exactly.
Well, because Diouf takes them on the other side, didn't he? Bowen takes them on.
Yeah, no, because we always put in swingers in, didn't we? We always seem to try and hit it into the goalkeeper, even against goalkeepers that don't flap at crosses. Because we've got no real idea of what we're doing at set pieces. We haven't had an idea of what we're doing at set pieces all season.
Yeah, that's right, Scott, because he was doing that. And like you said, Martinez does not flap. Martinez is a good keeper, and he was putting it on, and Martinez just goes, there, cheers.
Yeah. You go back to when we had the likes of Dawson and all that, right? We put all three of them centre-halves, and when they were running into the box, they were running into the box. It was good delivery, they were running into the box. Everyone stands on the goalkeeper. You make them corners are easy to defend when you've got a keeper that don't flap at crosses and two or three decent centre halves. You need to be attacking the ball to give yourself more chance of getting a goal.
We need our set pieces, like in this situation that we're in, especially in games where we've got some of them we're struggling to create from open play and we're struggling to score. We need set pieces, so we need to work out a way to really become more effective on those, because like I said, that got us a point against Man City. So Nuno's got to work on that.
You've got Disasi, you've got Mavropanos, you've got Todibo, you've got Souček. Right, okay, Todibo didn't play yesterday, fair enough. But you've still got three players there who are units, who are really good in the air. And you're telling them just basically stand still. It's madness.
I've seen the way they approach corners. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like momentum. Yeah. There's no momentum now.
Imagine them three charging in at the same time. How are you going to defend that if the ball's on point? Granted, if Bowen's taking the corner, it ain't beating the first man. But if the ball's on point and you've got them three charging at you, it's hard to defend.
That's the one thing Spurs have that we don't.
Diouf should be on one side. Fernandes should be on the other side. They're the two best dead ball players we've got.
Yeah, apart from Scholes, who's not on the pitch, but when Scholes plays,
not playing, so.
Yeah, if he's not playing.
In terms of dead ball, they're the two best.
Yeah, Bowen, get him away from him. Like someone said, he's more of a threat if you have him around maybe the edge of the box.
Him around the edge of the box. One fucking drops to the edge of the box, he can hit one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like we had Harry Kane on corners. We mentioned that on Friday night. We put in one of our biggest goal threats, taking the corners.
Look at what.
Do you know whose decision that was? Gary Neville's to put Harry Kane on corner. Mr. Football.
So much he fucking knows. But you know what? We had fucking Declan Rice there for fucking years and years and years. He's fucking corner master now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Never took one corner.
But they've also got their tactics in the box that is on point for the corners. But I was saying that Spurs are good. I think they've scored the second most goals from set pieces. So they've actually got that where you can be shit in open play all you like, right? You can play shit as you want. You get that corner, you're good on that corner, you have a chance of scoring a goal. And if we haven't got that.
Stuart Benson says, Nicky, do you still think we've got enough games? Yes. Of course we've got enough fucking games.
Speaking of Declan Rice, he's still only got a Conference League winners medal in his cabinet at home. So,
mate.
Well done.
That's right.
Joe, do you know what, right? The most annoying thing with Factor was yesterday we lost because it would have been such a good day if we got something out of that game.
I'd been a perfect day.
Oh, mate.
The thing is, though, I think Arsenal fans would take that defeat yesterday if they can just wrap up the league title as soon as possible.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
that could be a little momentum shifter. I agree. I forgot we had La Madrid. I forgot we had him, by the way, but he's got pace. I forgot about him.
Yeah.
Someone said Leeds and Tottenham have better fixtures. No, there's no fixture better if you're not fucking winning.
Yeah, like people make so much about. I've seen so many of that. People go, look at your fixtures. Look at like we're playing very similar teams. I think you just look at Arsenal in our run, and people just go, "Oh, West Ham, they've got the worst fixtures." Overall, we're playing similar teams in a way. They've got to go Stamford Bridge. That for them, that's as tough as us playing Arsenal at home. And like Ryan said, League could be wrapped by then. Don't look so much at who we're playing. Look at how we're playing, not who we're playing.
We've got 4 games before we play Arsenal. So if we win all them 4 games, we'll be well out of it.
I don't get that philosophy. When you look at Spurs' next game, they travel to Sunderland, right? After that, they've got Brighton who are pushing for Europe. Then they've got
the thing is they can't win home games.
Oh, exactly. Right.
And
then
they've
got Wolves away. Then they've got Villa away who are pushing for Champions League. Then they play Leeds who are still fighting relegation. Then they go to Chelsea when they never do well against Chelsea. So you can't sit there and say Tottenham have got a better run of games than we have.
And the thing is, on what Nicky said, right, is the home form. I just say this, Nick, right? In the relegation battle, your home form is key. Yeah. It's so key to keeping you up. And they haven't won a home game in the league since they've won 2 since April last year, right? And they've not won in the league all season, right? So to have a shit home form when you're worse at home in a relegation battle it's honestly
and the away games that they've got are awful.
I don't think they've won a game this year, have they? They haven't won a game in the league this year.
Not in the league, no. We're about to get to April, right? Their next league game is April 12th. And they wouldn't have won a league game since halfway through April, and then they'll have that chance, obviously. That is horrific. And people sit there and, like I said, it's only because we kept shooting ourselves in the foot. We made up a lot of ground. They had a big gap on us, right? But people sit there and go, well, they've got better fixtures. They haven't won a fucking game in the league.
Ryan was on the show the other day. He was on the TalkSport show, and there was a guy in there saying they're going to start picking up points, Tottenham. They're going to start picking up points. And I'm sitting there, and Ryan must have been thinking the same. And Abby, I know, definitely thought the same. Said, when? Because we've been saying this every fucking week since January.
Yeah, I think when you speak to them, like when they looked at it and there's like they've still got 20 games, they're like, yeah, we'll pick up. And then it's like 15 games, and now you're down to 7. And you think, fucking hell, it's starting to run out. So look, any one of us down there could fucking win the last 7 games of the season. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You know, it's
who's going to win to not win for nearly 4 months and expect you're just going to fucking out of 7 games you're going to win most of those. That's a big expectation when you ain't won all year. Like they're going to win.
I mean, we don't know what's going to happen now with obviously Igor Tudor. He's obviously Dad's passed away, so you don't know whether he's going to be there. Whether someone
would be harsh to sack him, wouldn't it? It would be very harsh to sack him.
Not so much sack him, but they might just say, look, just have bereavement leave, or and then they bring in someone. But I don't know who's going to come in and turn it around. I mean, they keep mentioning Aaron Redknapp. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. You know, then they're talking about Robbie Keane and giving it to getting Ledley King in and that. Okay, that could that could give you some boost. Because as I mentioned yesterday, I said we had a similar situation in 2003 when we brought in Brooking. Okay, it was too late, but it changed just the way that dressing room was, and we picked up results and nearly stayed up.
I think Brooking's a bit fucking different than Robbie fucking Keane, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's just this point where they've left it. They've had 2 managers already this season, and that hasn't done nothing. They go and get another one, and all of a sudden, Robbie Keane's supposed to.
I don't want to keep talking about him, but they should have kept Frank. They should have kept him.
Yep.
As well.
Simple as that.
Should have kept Ange.
Should have kept Ange. Be careful what you wish for, as everyone fucking told us for 3 years.
Frank Butcher at the moment. Fucking,
Yeah.
look, they should have got rid of someone Frank a long time ago, and they should have just employed someone better than this geezer. There's a reason why this bloke's had 12 jobs in 13 years or whatever it is. You know, he's not a good manager. Everywhere he goes, he don't last because he's not a good manager. So for whoever made that decision,
I just think them players though can't get away with it. You know, I speak to Toes, my Spurs mate, and I mean, even the top players have been horrific, like absolutely horrific all season.
I agree, mate. I said this yesterday that like we can sit there and Tottenham are in the same situation. They're all blaming their board and their manager, but at the end of the day, it's the players that cross the line. They're the ones that can affect games and win games. You know, so they have to take a lot of responsibility, just like our players do. Sometimes you can't always blame the board because the board ain't on there fucking kicking the ball.
Yeah. And you know what we've got over them? We've got better keepers.
It ain't like they ain't spent a lot of money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like they ain't in the same situation we have. You know, they was telling us how fucking good they were when they took Kudus off of us at the beginning of the season, and how much of a fucking fluke it was that they finished 17th last year. Could be fucking massive.
Listen,
I'll tell you what, they'd fucking take 17th now, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Listen, if they go down, we start, mate. We're gonna do some epic, like looking back on some certain things.
But listen, enough about them. Cunts.
Yeah,
enough about them because we've got our own fucking job to do. But it was shit this week, and we need to be better, a lot better when we come back. Simple as that.
Yeah, I think we can all do. I think we can all do with this rest for the next couple of weeks. I think as fan base and the team and. Just to hope, fingers crossed, that none of our players pick up any injuries in national duty.
Did I hear rightly? I don't know how true this is, right? But I see an Arsenal fan say that, like, all the Arsenal players have been given well, not all of them, but most of them are given international duty off. Like Saka, Rice has been given time off.
They're in England squad. They're in
England squad.
Really?
Yeah.
He was praising, like, I'm glad all our players are pulling out of pointless international friendlies. We have a huge game. Gabriel, Saliba, Timber, Eze, Odegaard all missing matches. Rice and Saka will be given the week off. Kafra will be next. So
I think that look, Rice and Saka, and I think the players that are guaranteed to get in the World Cup squad, they're hardly going to feature in these next 2 friendlies. This is more for the fringe players, just to give Tuchel something to think about. But I don't think Rice would be a sort of person that would pull out the England squad.
I think you should start to play at this point, play the team that's going to go to the world, like going to play, to start to get them, harmonised.
The thing is, Dan, I think with Tuchel, Tuchel knows what his 11's going to be. And I think that's the difference.
Yeah, but just get them used to playing with each other. That more, you know what I mean?
I think the 11, most of the 11 is used to playing with each other now.
Well, the thing is as well, that second friendly we've got, the starting lineup in that game will most probably be what's going to start in the World Cup.
Yeah, I'm with you, Ryan. I think that's what it'll be. I think the first game will be more of an experiment. The second game, because the thing I like with Tuchel, what he seems to do is he seems to plan for a plan B in the sense of, right, well, we all know Harry Kane's going to be the main number 9. But what happens if Harry Kane gets injured? Who are we going to put in there? And that's what he's looking to do.
Yeah.
I know that's for sure.
Yeah, I know we're going well off topic here, but I'm surprised that Watkins hasn't been included because I know he ain't been in great form this season. But for England, he's always been a threat.
Dominic fucking Solanke in one. What's he fucking done?
I'll be honest, the biggest joke of all is he's picked Solanke and Calvert-Lewin and left out Danny Welbeck.
Yeah.
I don't know how Welbeck's not in, as old as he is, I don't know how he's not in the
at least contention.
Well, the thing is, though, do we actually know he might not want to go. He
Yeah,
might not want to be. He hasn't officially retired, but he might have been approached and he said, "No, look."
Funny enough,
no,
right? Brighton tweeted the other day and said, like, it's not too late to include him. So he must. They must know.
Exactly.
I think it's ridiculous. Ben White's been called up after he turned his back on England, and said, "I'm not playing."
Ben White don't get picked for Arsenal.
Yeah, he should never be in that England squad again, ever.
No.
That's
it. The way he went about it last time and turned his back on England before, now he's back in there. Like, I think he's like Scott said, should be binned off. It's not like he's this integral player. Like, we need Ben White there, otherwise we've got no hope.
Yeah.
Let's save this one because we can have an international discussion at the end of the week. Because,
yeah. It's
we've
a
got
big one.
to talk about. So, yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Well,
thank you very much to our sponsors. OK Jerseys, go and get your £15 football jerseys with 10% off using the code Nicky10. That's okjersey.com, all spelled out, not just OK. At the bottom of the screen now, or you can scan the QR code. Thank you very much for joining us this week. Go and check out the fan cams. If you didn't, go and check out my morning after the game before this morning, where I was very dejected. We've got I'm trying to set up a podcast this week as well for the relegation rivals. I've got a couple of guests already lined up, so we'll be getting through to that, and we'll be building up towards the Leeds FA Cup quarter-final game in a couple of weeks' time. But we've got content coming all the time, so don't go anywhere. Subscribe if you're new. Click the notification button. And, then Thursday night, we've got Trevor Brooking at the Brewdog. Now, you can't get tickets to the Brewdog because they're all sold out. Sir Trevor Brooking at the Brewdog. And you can't get them because they've been sold out for a long time. The only way you'll be able to see that is if you become a member, and the membership, the full interview will be on the memberships, and we're going to have a Trevor Brooking signed shirt to give away to the members. So go and join the memberships right now. But thank you very much for joining us.
And we've got a busy Wednesday night as well.
Yes, we have. Sorry, go on. If you want to plug anything, please go ahead.
The floor is yours, mate.
Yeah. We got a premiere. We're at the premiere for the Clyde Best story. I'm not sure if tickets might still be available. You can Google Clyde Best story, go on there. But yeah, we'll be at the premiere on Wednesday night, and you're going to have lots of ex-West Ham there. There's going to be Addy Coker, Harry Redknapp. I think Jermaine Defoe is going, which, like I said, you can maybe go and say your piece to him in person.
But don't be silly. Don't.
No. But
fucking say.
Well, respectfully. But yeah, so there's going to be a film, Q&A panel, some drinks afterwards. Like I said, we'll be there. So go and check that. I think it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They're doing the show in Sadler's Wells, Stratford. So go to ClydeBestStory.com, I believe it is. So hopefully we see you there.
And we've got a night coming up with Colton Cole. And you can.
Scott, you got anything to promote?
Yeah.
No, boys.
Do you know what? Before we do go, I have got to ask something because I've found something, right? Hold on. Let me see this. I need an autograph expert, right? Because wait there, stay there.
Scott's good on these.
No, I'm not. I'm not
going to use that. You'll be.
All right. Well, right. This is an original 2004 to 2006 England shirt. Right, it's the same one that I've got, the biggest one on the planet, right? Brand new, as you can see, right? And it's got autographs in it. Now, I know this one here is Frank Lampard. I know that for a fact, right? But the others, I've got no fucking clue.
Is that Paul Scholes?
I think this one might be Glenn Johnson.
Maybe.
Sorry.
That looks like Paul Scholes at the top. I think that one with the P.
Yeah, maybe. Steven Gerrard, this one up here, maybe.
That's like a Z in there.
Yeah, maybe Bobby Zamora. I don't know.
I think someone got bored. Bobby Zamora, 2006.
Yeah, it's about the time, isn't it?
No, 2010. He didn't play for England. He was at QPR.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, if anyone knows whose these signatures are, because I know
I think that one on the bottom, Lily Savage.
Bum whistle, someone said.
Someone said Zamora and Colton Cole are on there, but
maybe.
Maybe they signed it years late. Maybe it's a 2006 shirt, but it's not necessarily the 2006.
Carlton Cole. I know Carlton Cole. I can't see Carlton Cole. I don't know.
But there's no serious.
That one
looks like David Beckham.
What one?
One of them looked like Beckham.
Yeah.
Is that era? Campbell would have been on there, wouldn't he? Possibly.
There's only 6.
Have you tried using AI? Like, take a picture.
Yeah, well, they just want to tell me it's Joe Cole and fucking Paolo Di Canio. I don't believe that. But if anyone knows.
Yeah, it looks like no one in the chat has a clue. So maybe someone can comment afterwards if they know. Anything Paulie Vaughan up says, I don't have.
Well, definitely ain't there because I got a shirt with his signature's definitely not on there.
Someone said the one in the top left is Eileen Jury.
Yeah, maybe.
Good old Eileen.
I think one of them's Glenn Johnson, but there we go.
Cost Glenn all the word job.
Yeah. There we go. But thank you very much for joining us. One thing left to say. Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.
Proper